We back on the floor, ladies and gentlemen, and this time, you get to see my pretty little face. So yeah, y'all know the drill. We're back at it again. We on the floor. We're doing the G-Fest haul. I'm gonna change things up from how I did it last year, where instead of going from smallest to largest figure, I'm just gonna go in order of like the days that I got everything. It's a bit more of a generic haul style, but you know what? I don't care. I think it's fun. So we're just gonna jump right on into it. But anyway, before we get into all the toys, we're just gonna talk about all the other stuff that just doesn't really have much of a place like anywhere else in the haul. So we're just gonna go ahead and just run through all that real quick. So to begin, we got this year's lanyard. This time it's a red color, not the green color that we got last year, and there's no real place to write your name on it like there was last year, which is kind of a bummer. Personally, I'm just not really that big a fan of these lanyards. I much prefer just the little pin tags that you just put in your shirt and, you know, you just have those, have your name on them and stuff. But this year's lanyard, whatever. And then right alongside the lanyard, we also got the program book. This year, they're back just being free again, unless I'm mistaken. 2023, they had the online thing that no one liked. 2024, they did have them physically, but you had to pay for them. But now, you just get them for free again, and this is very nice. It's very nice just to have a physical program book. It's all in color. It's very nice. All right, next up, we actually got some art prints that I got from my good friend Maddie of Metacart, does it really surprise you which ones I got? So we got this Gigan one that was a part of her big band piece, and then we got this Final Wars Gigan here. And then right alongside those, she did quite a few Godzilla Mario Kart themed stickers. So I managed to get a little Gigan of him driving in his little diamond UFO, and then Godzilla driving around in a little maser tank. These are awesome. There's like tons and tons and tons more that are available, and then she also has a lot more designs that she wants to bring to G-Fest next year. So if you can, please support Maddie. Her art is amazing. Seriously, like if you've seen like this and this and this like floating around on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, that's her. Her art is awesome. Support her. She's great. She's one of my best friends. All right, shelling is over. So support my friend. My friend is awesome. Okay, and then those aren't the only stickers I actually got, because I got another sticker, a little G-Fest sticker from Godzilla Guy. All right, so next up for this little thing, I'm gonna give a little bit of backstory for it. So back in March, I went on a big trip to the East Coast with a lot of my friends. It was such a fun trip. I had such a wonderful time. And while I was there, I wanted to get little pins of all the cool places that we went to. So I got one for like the Harvard Natural History Museum, and one for AMNH, and one for the Franklin Park Zoo. And so this year I wanted to continue that trend. And we went to the Field Museum in Chicago, and I managed to score this. It's a little pin of Sobek, the Spinosaurus, the giant freaking Spinosaurus skeleton that hangs over the main area. I wanted to get one of Sue, but like they just didn't have it there. I don't know why they didn't have a pin of like arguably their most famous attraction. But anyway, I'm happy to have one of Spinosaurus, my goat. So yeah, can't really complain about that at all. Okay, and then up next, I got some Ultraman cards. This is from the Ultraman card game. I did not buy these. This Belial one, I was literally just handed it by Taylor Minster, who you know from Daikaiju Legends. I have no idea where this Balton one came from. I'm just being 100% honest. I have no idea. I think I may have just found it on the floor or something. Fun fact, I actually have two of them. I don't know where I got these. I'm probably just gonna keep them because I mean they're funny. But yeah, there's important parts. I mean, they're still a part of the haul either way. So yeah, Ultraman trading cards. And then finally, to wrap up this little intermediate section, I got 2 autographs this year. Those autographs being from Bin Furuya, the suit actor for the original Ultraman, and Shinichi Wakasa, who designed a lot of the Millennium Era Godzilla suits. So from Bin, I managed to get signed the box for my Shinkocho Seiho SH Figuarts Ultraman. This is super cool. I'm really happy to have this. And for those of you wondering why I got this thing signed in the first place, or was it they actually used Bin Furuya as reference for the sculpting of this figure. So it's like, oh, the guy who was used as reference is the guy who signed it. That's kind of my thought process. But yeah, this is just really cool. I mean, I've had this thing for years. This thing's fantastic. It's getting reissued soon, so if you don't have it, I highly recommend getting it. It's probably the definitive Ultraman action figure, so yeah. And then from Wakasa, and if you guys remember from last year's haul, I stated that there was one figure there that I wanted to get signed from Wakasa, and that was the Bandai Theater exclusive Godzilla 2000, and I did do that. There's a signature and stuff. There was a figure that came out recently that I was debating as to whether or not I wanted to have signed by Wakasa, but ultimately I just decided on this because, I mean, it's just too freaking cool. But overall, I'm really happy with this. I said I wanted to do it, I did it. But yeah, mission accomplished. I got this thing signed, and now I will never, ever, ever touch it again, and it will sit on my shelf and sit and look cool. So yeah. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up for all of that stupid stuff that no one cares about. So now let's actually get into the toys. First up, we're gonna cover everything that I bought from Monday to Thursday. So first up, we're actually gonna look at a toy that I technically didn't buy while I was in Chicago, but I did bring it with me to Chicago. But that toy is the Mattel Jurassic World Rebirth Lab Lockdown T-Rex. I wanted to get this because I was seeing Jurassic World Rebirth in theaters with my friends while I was in Chicago. We actually did that the first day when we landed in Chicago, kinda, and then we finished it on Sunday. More details on that in the vlog. But overall, this figure just looks amazing. The other reason I wanted to get it is that it is probably just Mattel's best Tyrannosaurus. I have affectionately called him YTP Rexer, and if you want to know why, it's because of his signature catchphrase. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, YTP Rexer, awesome toy, love him a lot. Technically not really a G-Fest purchase, but you know, it feels wrong not to include him in the G-Fest haul, so yeah. Alright, next up, we actually got the first toy that I bought properly when I was in Chicago. This came from my friend Boats Can Fly. He was selling a bunch of his figures from his collection, and it just so happened that there was a figure there that I wanted, and that was the SH Figuarts Ultraman Belial. This thing's great. I've been wanting this figure for a very long time, and I just never really got around to doing it. I wanted to get the reissue that came out a few months ago, like the Darkness something or other. I wanted to get the version that has the Battlemizer, because the new one doesn't come with that. I mean, the new one does come with the beam, and of course, like, who doesn't love a good beam? But you know, Belial just doesn't really feel complete with the Battlemizer, and I'd much rather just display him with that. And then next up is a little gift from my good friend Michael Gasner. It's this. It's a little chibi Sam the Geigen fan. Yeah, you know, he's got the black skin, he's got the purple eye. It's me. It's awesome. I've affectionately nicknamed him Sam the Minifan because, I mean, I don't think I need to explain it. But this guy, he's so silly, he's so fun. I love him. Thank you, Michael, for this awesome gift. And also thank you, RJ, for Belial. I didn't say that earlier, but I'm gonna say it now, so yeah. Alright, so now we're actually moving into like the proper first day of G-Fest, Thursday. And then from that, I got a few toys from there. So for my good friend Rado, he sold me the Nendoroid Paro 2 from Godzilla Singular Point. A figure that I've kind of just been like needing to get for a while, but I never did. And he sold his to me, so yeah, awesome. Finally have Paro 2. So basically, my Singular Point collection's now complete, so yeah. He did come with all of the accessories too. I just have him currently displayed with the drum, like how he is in the intro. So yeah, thank you for this, Michael. Next up, we got another gift from my buddy Robozilla64. A little tiny bit of backstory here. If you guys have been to G-Fest, you probably know of the guy who runs the dealer's room. He comes out with the big megaphone and says, "The dealer's room is open for business." That's Dave. So Robo decided to make little 3D models of Dave to give to all of us and also give to Dave. So here's mine. It's a theater exclusive variant, which is really funny. So you can like hopefully see some of the details on here better. But yeah, just awesome little Dave. He actually does have articulation at the arms, which is really funny. And obviously, like before anyone asks, Dave himself actually got a big fully painted Dave. He loved it. It's all in good fun. Thank you, Robo. This is a silly, awesome little toy. All right, so to wrap up everything for Thursday, I managed to buy some things from the autograph room because they actually opened up their doors for sale early. There's a little bit of a tip for you. The autograph room is open for sale the day before. Not entirely. I think it might have just been like, it was probably just open for the bit. But I did manage to get out of there with a few things. The first of which is this little mini Maru-san crawling Hedora. I got this thing because it was just really silly and it was really charming. Yeah, I don't know, I just really like it. It was cool. Yeah, not much else to say. It was cool. And then next up was something that I was going into the convention looking for, and I managed to find it in the autograph room. And that was the Movie Monster Series Flying Mechagodzilla. This thing has been available for a little while. It's been available on the USG store, but I wanted to get it at G-Fest solely because I thought it'd be really fun just to like have this Mechagodzilla so you could have him like flying around or like play with it so like he's flying around going like and it is fun. It's a really fun little toy. Also, when I was in there, when I went to buy it, the thing itself was also on a stand, and I asked the guy who's selling it, hey, can I take the stand? And he was like, yeah, sure. So he comes with a stand. I think this is meant to be like a doll stand or something. That's what it says like on the bottom, but this is really cool. It's like a perfect fit for him. And it's also a little modular, so you can kind of like move him up and down or whatever. You can like position him to be like a perfect height in your collection. This thing's awesome. If you have this toy, I highly recommend getting a stand like this. And then the final toy that I bought from the autograph room was easily the steal of the autograph room. For $40, I managed to get the Kaiju Outlaws series Godzilla 1954, the colorized version. If there is something that you need to know about me when it comes to like just Godzilla 1954 merch, I am a sucker for colorized 54. That's what this is. It's a very nice brown color, which is supposedly what the color of the suit is. The reports of it change all the time. But yeah, it's a very nice brown with the white plates on it. This is awesome. It's a really nice standard Godzilla for the collection. Very happy with this purchase. Yeah, not much else to say there. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up everything for like the first few days of G-Fest. And now we're actually going to get into the convention and all the cool toys that I bought there. First up, I'm going to highlight the two YMSFs that I got this year. Originally, I wanted to get 3 YMSFs this year, but they didn't have the third one that I wanted, which was the Zilla Jr. from Godzilla the series. I'm okay with that because the 2 that I really, really, really wanted were both there. So we're going to highlight both of those. And the first one is Muto Prime from Godzilla Aftershock. The fact that we have this thing at all is freaking insane because it is basically a Glup Shido from a Monsterverse comic, which if you know anything about Monsterverse comics, they're basically not canon. So like the fact that YMSF Man made a monster from essentially a non-canon piece of Godzilla media is really cool. And this thing is also just really freaking sick too. So I got Muto Prime, and then this next one is the undisputed GOAT of YMSF this year. And that was the close-frilled version of Zetus from Gamera the Brave. Again, the fact that we have this, we have a figure of Zetus, is insane to me. I decided to get the close-frill version because the open-frill version also has the tongue that's going like, I think that looks dumb. Yeah, Zetus, freaking awesome. Really happy to have this. This is one of my favorite things I bought from G-Fest. And then after Muto Prime and Zetus, I managed to score this year's G-Fest figure, which, if you don't know, our group has a little thing where we have one designated figure as the G-Fest figure. So for 2022, it was the Movie Monster Series Salunga. For 2023, it was Gamera Rebirth version of Jiger. And in 2024, we kind of didn't really have one, but it kind of just ended up being Odo Island Godzilla by accident. But this year, we did have a proper G-Fest figure again, and that was the Movie Monster Series posing Godzilla 1965, the dancing version. I love this thing. This thing is sick. He comes with a little rock. You just have the rock, you place Godzilla on it, and then he's doing a little dance. He's doing a little schmoovin'. And now you can recreate one of the 3 GIFs that dumb people use when describing the entire Godzilla franchise. So, yeah. Awesome! And then next up, after the dancer, we got another figure that originally I wasn't intending on getting, but the closer and closer we got to G-Fest, the more and more I wanted it. And I was like, okay, if I see it at G-Fest for like a reasonable price, I will buy it. So I saw it at G-Fest for a reasonable price, and I bought it, which was the Movie Monster Series Godzilla 1974 from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. The reason that I didn't want this thing initially was because I already have the 73 and the 75, so I thought 74 would be redundant, but all my friends were telling me, no, Sam, this is the best version of that sculpt, and they're right. This is by far the best version of the Meguro Goji sculpt in figure form. I just love this OG sculpt so much. The face is like straight up perfect. I love the painted nails. That is such a weird detail that I can point out about this figure, but I love the painted nails on it. It just feels really, really complete, especially compared to like the 75, which doesn't really have that. So overall, this is a really great figure. If you ever see it floating around the internet, buy it. It is so good. This is just like a really good default Showa Godzilla, late Showa Godzilla to have for the collection. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Buy this toy if you see it for a good price. I got mine for $45. If you can get around there, yeah, do that. All right, next up, I got a sculpt that I was looking for a very long time. This is not the exact version of the sculpt that I was looking for, but either way, I got it, and I'm very happy with it. It is the Gigabrain Godzilla 1962, this translucent blue variant. I don't know what it's called. I'm very happy to have a Gigabrain 62 finally, because this is just straight up my favorite Sofubi Godzilla sculpt of all time. I love how like basically like dead on it is to 62. It's stylized, but to a point where it's like it captures everything that I love about that design so perfectly. The proportions of this thing are perfect. I am just obsessed with this sculpt. I'm so happy I have it in the collection finally. All right, and then next up, I actually got a gift from my good friend Louie Gubb, and this is a figure that he knew I was wanting to get at G-Fest for a very long time, so he oh so kindly got it for me. And that is the CCP Midsize Series Retro Red GMK Godzilla. I have been obsessed with this sculpt for a very long time. I have been even more obsessed with this paint scheme for about as long. I just love this thing. It's translucent. I love these metal blue parts that are like painted on top. It's such a cool looking figure. It's just so cool. I love that he's just like a perfect little size. He's just a goober. I love him. Spoiler alert, this won't be the last CCP Godzilla you'll be seeing in this video. You know, stay tuned for that later. But this is such a goated gift. Thank you, Louie Gubb, for this awesome, lovely toy. All right, and then next up, I got a figure that I kind of sort of alluded to earlier in the video. If you remember earlier when I was talking about the Theater Exclusive 2000 I got signed by Wakasa, I mentioned there was another figure that I wanted to get signed from him too, or I was considering having him signed. And that figure in question was the Movie Monster Series Godzilla 2000 Odaiba Battle version. This is meant to be the version from Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, when, you know, he's fighting, he's shooting the atomic breath. So you're probably wondering why I wanted to get this one signed over the theater exclusive one. In case you don't know, this version of the 2000 sculpt was actually done by Wakasa himself. And then also, it's the, you know, it's meant to be just like general 2000 Mirai Goji suit, but it's also just the version from Megaguirus, which has Wakasa's preferred look of the 2000 Godzilla design. It's a figure sculpted by Wakasa, and it's of his preferred 2000 sculpt. So you can kind of understand why I was debating on getting this thing signed over the theater exclusive one. Eventually though, I got that one signed, but I still wanted this figure, so I ended up paying for it. Do have a bit of buyer's remorse from this one though, because like the day I got back from G-Fest, they put this one on the G-Store for maybe about like half the price that I paid for it. But either way, this thing is still cool. I really like this. It's an awesome figure, awesome sculpt. I highly recommend getting it if you like the 2000 suit, if you like the 2000 movie. Granted, this is from Megaguirus, but it's the same freaking suit, dog. It doesn't really matter. So in case you guys haven't noticed so far, my G-Fest haul, or my actual G-Fest haul, has been largely very Godzilla-centric. So the next figure I wanted to get was something that was not Godzilla. So I was looking around and I eventually stumbled across a figure that I've been kind of eyeing for a long time, but I eventually just bit the bullet because I thought it'd be cool. And it was cool. It's become one of my favorite figures I got from the haul. And that is the Bandai Movie Monster Series King Ghidorah Phantom Colors version, more commonly known as the Rainbow Ghidorah. This thing is so cool. I love this thing. It's so cool to finally have a version of Ghidorah that has the rainbow colors on him. It's really cool also just to have this sculpt. I wanted the just normal version of this for a long time, but I did manage to get the OG Bandai one not too long ago, so I didn't feel the need to, but this thing still exists, and I'm very happy I got it. Just the size of it, it's a very good Ghidorah size. Like here it is compared to like a standard 6-inch Godzilla. This is basically like the perfect scale for Showa Ghidorah. Again, probably paid a little more than I should have, but either way, this thing is awesome. It's really cool. I'm so happy to have it. It's one of my favorite figures from the haul. Not much else to add, just cool toy. All right, next up, I got a figure that's admittedly not as impressive as Ghidorah, but it's something that I've been looking for a while, just something that I've been needing in the collection for a long time. And now I finally got it, and that is the Bandai Showa Mothra Larva from Mothra vs. Godzilla and Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. Not really a whole lot to add here, it's just Mothra Larva, it's really cool. But I do think this might be the new oldest figure I have in the collection, because, you know, just doing research on it or whatever, it's late 80s, early 90s. My previous oldest figure, which was the Bandai 8-inch Anguirus, I believe specifically is 92. So I think this is probably the oldest thing that I have in my collection now, which is really funny because it is of a character that is canonically a newborn. And then for my last three figures that I got, we got a couple more little Safubi figures. This time it's from a company called Sunguts that I have gotten into recently. They were at G-Fest, and I decided to grab three figures from them. The first of which was the Godzilla 1968, who I've affectionately named Schmork because look at him. He's overall just a very silly little guy. Really like the colors on this. Shout out to the gold dorsal plates. I mentioned Colorized 54 is one of the things I'm a sucker for. Gold dorsal plates on Godzilla is another. I think it's such a cool color. They need to capitalize that in the movies. But really cool, love Schmork, he's awesome. And then next up, I got the Anguirus that I've affectionately named Schmunk. He's probably the least interesting of the figures that I got. This thing is just colored like the original Bandai one. There are a lot of really cool colorways for Sunguts figures. Anguirus especially has some really cool ones. There's this one that's like a really cool sort of like beige color, and another one that's like red with a blue shell. I really like those. They highlight, or like they bring out details in the sculpt a lot better, but overall, I just really like this. He's a really just silly little guy. I'm also just a sucker for Safubis that basically have movie colors. I have this, I have 68, I have pretty much all the other big ones I have that are basically the same color. But yeah, this is Schmunk. He's an awesome little freak. I love him. Yeah, not much else to say there. And then the final Sunguts that I got, breaking theme from the Godzilla series for a little bit, we got Zeton from Ultraman. Originally, I thought this was Zeton too, because of how freaking dopey and stupid he looks. But I think now it might be the version of Zeton from Ultra Fight, which also looks kind of dumpy and stupid, so I mean, I don't know. People from G-Fest might know this guy as my little pocket toy that I kept carrying around in my shirt pocket all weekend. Most of the weekend. But yeah, he is really silly, he's really fun. Yeah, not much else to add. Yeah, he's Zeton, he's dumb little shit. I love him. Yeah, I'm really hoping that Sunguts comes back next year to bring a lot more of their catalog. Because there are so many fun sculpts from them that I just managed not to get. Rodan is my top priority from them, and Gorosaurus is also really good. So I really hope they come back next year because they're really cool, they have really good toys, and they're all for like a pretty reasonable price. You know, for Safubis. All right, so now we're moving on into Saturday. So first up, I got my annual Yuji Sakai diorama, and that is the Mothra vs. Godzilla one. I'm really happy to have this. If you know me personally, you know Mothra vs. Godzilla is a big favorite Godzilla movie of mine. It was my first Godzilla movie, so I'm very happy to have this. I love this one, it's really funny. It's when Godzilla gives one of the Mothra larvae brain damage. So that's really fun. And then also it does come with a stand so that Mothra can, you know, be held up the whole time. Happy to get my annual Yuji Sakai and happy that it's of a big favorite Godzilla movie of mine. All right, next up we got another little figure that I've been eyeing for a very long time, and that is the Japan Godzilla series Cherry Blossom Godzilla. This is the -1 Godzilla sculpt. Obviously, you know, shrunk it down a good bit. I don't know why they decided to shrink it down. I don't know why they didn't just use the normal -1. I don't know why they started a new line when they could have just used the -1 Bandai sculpt and just repainted it. But they did, and I really do like this figure. It is a very nice shade of pink. I don't know, I just like it. It's very pretty looking. Not much else to add there. I just like this toy. It's a cool toy. All right, and then next up, I got a series of little Ultra Kaiju that I've been kind of eyeing for a while. So first up, we got Gardy from Ultraman Tiga. Not much to add here. Just happy to have Gardy. Always good to have some Tiga rep in the collection. I love that show. I made a video on it, actually. But yeah, just not much else to add. Cool. And then I'm gonna mention these two as a pair because, I mean, they are a pair, even though I got them, you know, at separate times. I got Damaga and I got Baby Damaga. Damaga in general is just a very personal Ultra Kaiju to me because the first episode of Ultraman X was actually the first episode of any Ultra show I've ever seen. So Damaga kind of has a place in my heart there. I've always liked Damaga. I love his design a lot. I love his roar. He has a really cool roar. But yeah, he's really cool. And then I got Baby Damaga, mainly just because I got Damaga. This is like the peak figure where it's like, oh, I'd get it at G-Fest, but like literally nowhere else. Because I got Damaga and I saw, oh, they have Baby Damaga. Cool. I'm gonna buy it. So yeah, he's silly, he's fun. Not really a whole lot to add there. Just happy to have these. Neat. Alright, and then for my last figures that I got these two basically as a pair. There's another story with these figures. So I was just walking around the dealer's room, you know, like you do, and I stumbled across this table that had this figure sitting there. And it was like a pretty decent price for this figure. And then I was just looking at it. I was kind of interested, but I didn't really think too much of it at the moment. And then I left the table, and then like a minute later, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy it. And so I did. That figure in question is the Toys Dream Project Anguirus 1955. You know, kind of like Baby Damaga, this was very much so like a figure that I'd only get at G-Fest. It's like, oh hey, I saw this thing for a decent price, I'll buy it. I saw it for 50 bucks. Which also is appropriate because they were selling the new version of the sculpt that actually has the Movie Monster Series Anguirus 55 for the same price at other booths. So you know what, why don't I just get the original version of this sculpt that has this version of the Anguirus sculpt that I just freaking love. Why don't I just do that? So yeah, so after that, I went on a like mad dash through the dealer's room to try and find his quote-unquote companion figure. I didn't think I'd find the actual figure that actually goes with him, so I went with the next best choice, and that is the Movie Monster Series Godzilla 1955 Imagination version. The lighting is not doing this thing any justice. It looks like a freaking beast of light. So yeah, now you can see his details a little bit better. And this thing's really cool. I never really thought of much of it before, but like the way that like the paint is added onto it kind of makes it almost look metallic, which is really cool. Love all the frosted white bits on the hands and the feet. But overall, this is just a very pretty looking figure that I'm very happy to have. As well as the Anguirus. They're both very good figures I'm happy to have. Didn't go into G-Fest necessarily expecting to buy them, but here I am. They're just cool toys. They're awesome. All right, and then now we're gonna wrap things up with Sunday, where I bought easily the least amount of toys, but that's also a good thing because we're running out of space over here. So first up, I got another Movie Monster Series that I was sort of going and looking for. I was kind of debating on myself as to whether or not I would get it, but eventually I did get it, and that was the Movie Monster Series GMK King Ghidorah. And y'all may notice, he's looking a little droopy, he's looking a little sad. I actually bought this one intentionally, knowing that it looks like this, because I am a big fan of GMK Ghidorah when he has the wings all folded up in the movie, and this is pretty much the closest we're gonna get until Bandai decides to lock in and actually make that version of the figure, or if another company decides to do it. Monster Arts, please, I'm hoping, I'm praying. But yeah, this is a really cool sculpt. It's pretty much just the same as the 8-inch Bandai that released in 2001, but you know, obviously 6-inch scale. But yeah, it's GMK Ghidorah. What else can I really say? Alright, and then to wrap things up, we got the Ultimate CCP Power Hour. I got 4 more CCPs, so we're just gonna run through them all really fast. So first up, I got this Godzilla 1954. This is actually a glow-in-the-dark version. The glow on this thing is actually pretty cool. I'll probably add some B-roll in here. I like to put him on my windowsill so he gets like blasted by sunlight, and when he does, even when you like put him like down here or whatever, you can see him like glow extremely bright. So I'll definitely like put in some like B-roll footage or something like that, but yeah, the glow on this thing is really cool. I'm very happy to finally have a glowy Safubi, even if it is a small one. Next year, I definitely want to try and get a big glowy. I'll probably get like a Gigabrain 65 for that or something. But yeah, really like this guy. He's really fun. Next up, we got Kiryu, this red version. Not really a whole lot to add here. I just really like the colors on this one. The gold backpack is really nice. I like the red on Mechagodzilla. I thought he'd look nice next to my Godzilla 2000 that I got last year, and he does. So yeah, not much else to add there. Cool. All right, and then to wrap things up, I got 2 of these. I'm just gonna show them off together because they're Gamera things. So I got this 99 Gamera and this Gauss. I just really like both of these colorways. The Gauss especially was a colorway that I was going into G-Fest specifically looking for because I think it's so pretty. I love the blue color on it. I love the wings that fade from blue to green to gold. It's very nice. It's a very pretty figure. And then this Gamera is probably like the least interesting of the CCPs that I got, but overall I just like the red. I like these gold highlights on the shell. And then something interesting that I didn't know until like I just noticed it randomly. I was trying to figure out specifically what this variant was, but if you look at the hands, one of them is like fully painted and then the other one is sort of like this clear fire bit. And then I realized, oh my god, this is meant to be the Fire Fist Gamera from the other Gamera 3. How did I not recognize that? Personally, if I was in charge of that, I probably would have either made the whole body a different color or I would have made the fist itself a different color. But overall, I still really like it. It's a really cool looking figure, so yeah. And then that pretty much wraps up the whole G-Fest haul. You can't even, I don't think you can even see everything here anymore. There's definitely some figures that got unfortunately sidelined, but you know what, it's fine, we can live with that. So right away, I think, honestly, looking at all of these figures all together, this might be my favorite G-Fest haul that I've ever gotten. All of these figures have something really unique about them that all make them like stand out from just being, oh, here's like just random Godzilla or whatever. It's always just like, oh hey, here's a figure that can like represent da-da-da in the collection. Or in the case of like, frankly, a lot of these figures, they're unique, interesting colorways or fun Safubis that overall just kind of make me happy. So it's not my biggest haul that I've ever gotten, but it's a very fun one that I'm very happy with overall. Again, probably my favorite one. And this will probably be sort of like the benchmark that I will use to judge like all future G-Fest hauls on, at least like in terms of the things I want. Just fun, interesting figures that kind of like stand out, have their own unique place in the collection. Yeah, not really much else to add other than that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed me highlighting all the cool, awesome toys I spent all of my hard-earned money on, and I will see you next time for the G-Fest video. So overall, what do you think of all the cool toys I bought? And then tell me some of your favorite toys that you bought from G-Fest. Obviously, if you went, if you didn't, don't really have much closing words here. So anyway, I've been Sam the Gigan fan, telling you all to have a lovely day. Remember to wash your hands, and I don't know why I was expecting to do a third thing. I never do a third thing. Yeah, that's just kind of where the video ends. So bye-bye, everybody.